I'm Shane Nyland, and my co host is Blake Musser. And these stories you're about to hear are from Weapons Company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, 1st Marine Division, about the events surrounding and directly from the mouths of the people who were in Ramadi 2004. Cool, man. Tell everybody who you are.
Hello, hi. My name is Deverson Lochard. I served with 2-4 from February of 2004 until, what was it, December of 04. I was a sergeant of Marines. I was with MAP 3 with Gunny Kutcher, Sergeant Pauls with Donzo. I was a squad section leader with Sergeant Kenneth K. Conde and Sergeant Williams, who were the three section leaders during that deployment. My job was, I was in charge of all the cruisers and the gun trucks. What did I bring to the table? So before the deployment of 04, I was part of the initial invasion in Iraq in 2003 with 3-5.
I didn't know that. 3-5,
Yes.
huh? That's cool.
Yeah, my first duty station when I first came to California was 3-5. I was with a Weapons Company in 3-5, and then I cross-decked over to 2-4 because I was undecided whether or not I was going to stay or get out. So I believe that I had 8 months left. No, February to October. What is that? 9 months. I had 9 months left on contract. So instead of wasting time, and 2-4 were about to deploy, but they didn't have anyone that's in combat at the time. And myself, John Mark, for example, we were in 2-4, we were in 3-5, having seen combat.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to get that experience and have all those Marines to make them understand to what is it that they're about to embark in, that it wasn't going to be easy. Like your mindset needed to be proper. You cannot go there thinking that you're gung-ho. There was no, so that was my mindset behind there. Not only so because I was undecided whether I was going to remain, and two, I felt like I would have been better served to teach the younger Marines about survivability and so on and so forth. So when I checked into 2-4, I met with Sergeant Major Booker at the time. He asked me where do I want to go, which was kind of crazy. But I told him, Weapons Company. I was with the line company. I didn't want to go back to line, so I went to Weapons. So went to Weapons, then as a sergeant, and the rest is history from there.
And were you a mortarman the same as John Mark Lopez, or what was your primary MOS?
I was a 0331 machine gunner.
So that makes sense why you were in charge of all the crew serves.
Yes.
All right, good.
Right. All the gun trucks and crew serves, yeah.
Nice.
So any first impressions of that you remember of coming over from I always find the compare and contrast very interesting from like 3-5 coming over to 2-4.
You know what? I saw a whole bunch of innocent young men who did not know what they're about to embark into. I saw a whole bunch of young men who were in the mindset of, yeah, we're going to war. This is what we train for all of our life. But I don't think they understood what it was going to be like to be in the shit. Pardon the language. Sorry.
No,
You get
no.
this is
Swear as much as you want.
as I said, this is not a PG podcast. You can say
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Yeah, so I felt like seeing the innocence on their face, and there was, mind you, because 2-4 I just found they were getting deployed, so they got augmented by a whole bunch of SOI drop
Yep.
at the time. So you have a whole bunch of Marines fresh out of SOI. They didn't even have a chance to train. They didn't have a chance to go do CACs like we did.
Yep.
Right.
Those guys just got off the bus, get on the plane, and next thing you know, they're in Kuwait. And
Well,
I felt like,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I felt like I was gonna make a difference.
Awesome. No, I'm sorry. Remind me, you came in February of 04?
I think I crossed deck. Did I go through?
Were you at March Air Force Base, for example?
Yeah, I went to Marsh Air Force Base and everything.
Oh, okay.
I deployed with you guys because we did a few hikes.
Okay.
Who was it?
I just wasn't sure how close to us, like
Yeah.
going on the plane, like how much time you had yourself to get
I
to
think
know
like-
everybody.
I was gonna say, if you went to March, you were probably with us in January because
Yes.
March Air Force Base was the last week of January. I think it was around the time of the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah, I did all that, like yelling at what's his name? Brown, because he was late
Yeah.
and everything. Like I don't know. Like a lot of the Marines saw me, they're like, damn, this motherfucker is hard. What the fuck? Why is he so freaking after us? Why is he like so freaking mean to us? Like, it wasn't about trying to be hard or trying to be mean. It's what's that movie called with Clint Eastwood?
Heartbreak Ridge.
Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got all these Marines who they're like the recon guys. That thing's they're badass and whatnot. But then you have him, the gunny, who's been there, who's seen a thing or two, trying to mold them to get him to take it seriously. And please understand that I watched that movie after that deployment. So I had no idea. Like, because a few of them made the reference of, man, this motherfucker is like freaking the gunny from Heartbreak Ridge. Heartbreak Ridge. What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, but that was the thing. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I just saw all these young souls, and I just wanted to be impactful and everything. Because I remember when gunning culture came, then there was some in my section. I remember talking to them, and I say to them, the difference between me and you is my experience. I put my pants on the same way you do. I go to sleep, I bleed just like you. The only difference is my experience. You have an experience, you don't understand what you are about to endure. But that is the only difference. My job as your section leader is to get you back home alive. Nothing else matters to me. I do not care about freaking Susie back home. I don't care what's happening back home. I only care about getting you back alive. And that was my speech to them. And this is the same speech that I went and gave to the kids in 1-1 when I went there after the drill field. So that was my speech to them, is to get them to understand the seriousness of it. Like Lopez and I, we went to boot camp. Lopez, I was on the East Coast. Lopez was on the West Coast. We both checked into 3-5 together at the same time. And we've been brothers ever since.
Nice.
Based on the experiences and everything that we have. Like, I talk to him all the times. Like, we always say, he's still trying to get me to come to Texas. But we've been like that. And he's not young. Got a few. I'm still in touch with Latham, you know.
Yeah, good.
Like
Me too.
all
I
those
talk to
guys.
Latham almost every week. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about the guys being junior, and it's true. We got a lot of boot drops, but the other guys who were not boots, we got to watch you do all the work on TV while we were sitting on ship going around in circles around Okinawa. And so a lot of those guys felt like they were missing out. And I mean, literally, I remember watching and being like, I know that guy. These are Fifth Marines we're watching on TV. Like literally being like, that's our people while we're sitting on ship watching it on TV. So yeah, I imagine, especially like Brown, because Brown was there on ship and stuff like that, or other guys like that, where you may have been more eager than you should have been to get your chance.
With them, well, it was about having them understand that their leadership matters. Don't worry about what's on my chest. You know, getting that first combat action, that's what every single infantry marine must have. Like you do not measure yourself. You don't consider yourself a real infantryman unless you have that call. But I would like say to them, dude, if we can go and not get shot at, that'll be beneficial to us. But
And that's a hard one to wrap your head around if you haven't. That's only something that can be said by someone that's already done it. Similarly, when coming back, it was stuff that I was saying to some of my senior Marines who had gotten out. They're like, man, like I'm gonna go back in and I need to get that experience. It's like it's not everything you think it is, man. Like
no, it's not. Like I remember vividly the first time I got shot at. I had a head full of hair. Then the stress, I lost my I went bald. Maybe
that's the story you're going with.
Maybe I was destined to go bald, but I went bald sooner than I wanted to. Let's put it that
way. So me and you both. The last time I had hair was in Ramadi. So yeah. That's what happened. Yeah. I'm with you. That's the story we're going to tell everybody.
I love it. So I appreciate the philosophy that you came in and the cause that you were pursuing and coming over to us, and thank you for that. What did you have any specific trainings or drills or processes that you were pushing down on your guys prior to us leaving to get over to Ramadi?
Yeah, so I did the machine gun course. I was a mount instructor. Some of the combat that we saw, we will in the urban environment, breaking down doors, looking for their means, how to cross through a threshold. So I had all that training. The main thing that I was always harping on them is the move cover, fire movement. That was like the biggest thing. The second biggest thing, you are never by yourself. You will always have a partner with you. Like I mandated that the gunner and the driver will always appear together.
Yep.
The VC and whoever was in the back, you will appear together. It didn't freaking matter to me. The other thing also that the philosophy that I brought up also was the men below me will know how to do my job. The mission will carry on even if I get whacked. Even if I get whacked. The other thing is like making them understand. It's just like making them understand the seriousness, the magnitude of what they are about to endure, the mindset. Like I said earlier, Nothing else matters but the man to your left and right. Nothing else matters. Don't care. And that was real. I guess I was too blunt with them. Because I'll be like, look, you're gonna get the Dear John letter. You will get those letters. It's not gonna be fun, but I need you to be in the now.
Yeah, well, and you're right. I know of a couple guys that got the Dear John.
Oh, multiple. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's well, we've had a couple of guys talk about it too.
Yeah, like, regardless of rank. I mean, there was staff NCOs that got them. There was officers that got them.
Yeah, and again, that's why when my first child was born, I realized that I could not give 100% to the Marine Corps while giving 100% to my family.
Sure.
So one had to give. Unfortunately, the Marine Corps, I had to let it go. It's still dear to my heart. Marine Corps is what helped shape the type of man that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll 100%. never regret my time as a Marine. Never. But it was nothing but growth. You know, I was like a wayward kid, doing shenanigans, but then it helped straighten me out.
I wonder if some of your philosophy that you were talking, or your focus on the way of tactics, two things came from your experience as a machine gunner, in that machine gunners never do things solo. You're always in pairs. Always. And as a machine gunner, you expect to die, right? That's the old, they teach you that in machine gunner school. Now, I wasn't a machine gunner, I was a tow gunner, but I worked with machine gunners literally from the second I hit the fleet. I was always in a cat platoon. Literally, we talked about machine gun philosophy a whole hell of a lot more than we talked about how to employ a tow missile. And they always told you, when shit hits the fan, the machine guns are the biggest target on the battlefield, because that's what every enemy wants to get rid of, because you're going to be the biggest force multiplier. And so I wonder if that's, I mean, I don't know how much, you tell me, how much did that feed into your, some of your leadership philosophy? Because that's what it sounds like to me, hearing it back from you.
Well, you know, I used to run like hell, right?
Oh yeah.
I had this thing where Marines are saying, damn, why are we running so much? Why are we doing on-screen runs? Why are we doing gas mask runs? I asked Latham. Latham used to hate my guts. Why are we doing gas mask runs? Why are we administering IVs with a gas mask on?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing this? To me, this is what was more important. I could care less about thinking how you look in garrison.
Right.
I cared about someone is shot. Can you administer a tourniquet? Can you call in the medevac? Can you do a 9-line? Can you call for fire? Can you get on the radio while you're getting shot at, stay cool and collected, directing the chaos, organized chaos? Can you do all that? Your mindset. That was my philosophy. That was the thing, like the controlled, organized chaos. Can you endure that? If you can endure that, you can be your freaking CEO in any company. You'll be valuable. Nothing else will faze you.
So
like
true.
The heat, you know, we're walking on patrol and our boots are melting, or our boots are sinking into the pavement or into the street, the asphalt, boots melting in. Like, if you can do all that, nothing else back in the US will faze you.
Very true. Did you have any, so you got to us January, you didn't have a lot of time to develop any deep relationships, at least not before, because we deployed February 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Any first thoughts of your sort of co-leadership between Sergeant Conde, Sergeant Williams, Staff Sergeant Rapazzo, Gunny Crutcher?
Gunny Crutcher and I, we hit it off because he saw himself in me. when he was younger. Stops on a puzzle. We didn't start out so hot because he felt like I was too strict with the Marines. I wouldn't let shit fly because to me, the attention and detail, that's what will keep you alive. But then as the deployment went on, we became closer and closer. Conde and I, our characters kind of like was kind of clashing. Conde was more of the man of the people for the Marines.
That's very true. It's very true. He's a big personality.
Yeah, but then me, I didn't give a F if you like me or not. My mindset was still remain the same. At least you could say I was consistent.
Sure.
So that was the thing. Sergeant Williams always was keeping the peace between me and Conde because any moment we'll be at our throat. But Williams was always there to keep the peace.
That's funny.
But again, towards the end, we all got close. We all, that's what I remember. Then, of course, you have like the junior guys and everything, like Kelly, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He and I developed a pretty good friendship. Daniels, I remember Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
We really got tied together.
And you kind of talked about it a little bit because you started in about the gas mask runs, because I remember you guys going on gas mask runs in Kuwait. What do you remember about getting to Kuwait and kind of prepping guys while we were doing our acclimatization before we crossed the border?
Well, keep in mind, in 03, we thought that the enemy had anthrax, right? So we were sleeping on our gas mask and everything. I remember that shit freaking sucked. I didn't want them to, the first time they put gas masks will be in the heat. And then they're freaking suffering. And then they're like, oh, I can't breathe. And then remove it. And then boom, they get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lapse of judgment. So it seems like all of my experience came back in and I put it to use to teach them.
Sure.
It was like as if everything that I experienced in 03 naturally came back to teach them, like my survival mode just came in naturally to me. So that's why and the reason why was I hard? If you're in shape, you get shot. Because you're in shape and there's less fat between the muscle tissues, your muscles will tense and your blood will coagulate a lot faster, keep you from bleeding. But if you're out of shape, you got fat, your muscles ain't gonna be able to tense up and allow somebody, and you're just gonna bleed out. Being able to administer an IV, like as simple as it sounds, it was very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I only, again, my mindset was I didn't care what I had to do. It was to get them all back alive. That was my mindset.
Nice. Were you part of the group? I assume so, because I think all of map 3 drove up. Did you guys drive up? And who did you drive up with from Kuwait in 04?
It was I think was Latham my driver? I don't know. I was in a truck, but I think I was with VC. I don't remember who was in the truck with me.
Okay.
But yeah, we did the journey.
Yeah. The long, for whatever reason, because there was 75 vehicles in the convoy, it took 2 days to get there, even though it's a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
Any first thoughts when you first got into Ramadi and kind of saw where we were staying at Hurricane Point?
It remind me of Idunia. Because that's when we stayed in Dunia the first time. So I was like, look, I'm back.
Home sweet home.
Yeah.
Did you go out on any of the early missions with the the army unit from before? Were you on any of those early patrols with them to get a lay of the land of Ramadi?
Yes. I remember one of them, we came across an IED. One of the soldiers were on his back trying to shoot a cable from a was a 155 round that they had set up to ambush us.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I was like, yeah, I remember that in Dionia. We were doing that stuff. So again, it was interesting watching the demeanor, how everybody was on edge, but then somehow I didn't feel the jolt to go on edge because being there. But then we got shot at, then I directed machine guns, hey, shoot at that window here. No, that was like their first time. That was their first time seeing me in action.
Yeah.
And when I came back in, like, man, you were so calm out there.
It wasn't your first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I remember is you guys during the left seat, right seats, you were the first platoon to get contact, like actual in a shooting match. And that, I mean, I think that's what you're describing there. And I remember everybody was so jealous. It was so funny. And I remember those are the first memories I have of you specifically, because I don't think we talked much in Pendleton before we deployed. But I remember that because you were always so serious, but when you came back from that first contact, you had this big grin on your face, and I was like, "Oh, all right, that's a serious dude. That's awesome."
Yeah.
Nice. Any memories of those sort of early missions after the 82nd Airborne left and we took over the AO? So basically, March 6th through April, up to the beginning of April.
Well, it was just learning the AO.
Yeah.
Going on patrols, understanding if kids were not on the street, we're about to get ambushed.
Yeah.
Listen to the locals. If we saw rocks stacked up, follow what the locals did. If the locals were avoiding an area, to avoid it also. Don't need to go there. After a while, I had the knack of identifying if there's a vehicle that's parked. I don't know why and how I came about all this, but if there was a vehicle that was parked the wrong way, I'll tell my driver, hey, go all the way to the other side. But Sergeant, it's oncoming traffic. I don't care. Go into oncoming traffic, drive. Then me being the lead, everybody else will follow me. Then the vehicle will blow up. And they're like, how did you know? I said, I don't know. It's just my instincts.
Yeah.
It's just my instincts to just like, to this day, I just don't know. But I think I know. I think I had God on my side. You know, that was the one thing. And I wasn't much of a believer in country, but later on, I've come to understand that Jesus was always there with me. Jesus had a hand in protecting us. As long as we were doing the right thing, we were not going out and shooting innocent people. We had the protection of God.
Did you have any kind of spiritual practice sort of in 2004 or anything you did for good luck? Did you carry a good luck charm or anything?
I did not.
Yeah.
But in July, when Conde passed,
mm-hmm.
I did blame myself, and I'm not pleased to say it, but I blame God also.
Sure.
It took me a very long time because I feel like it should have been me, should have not been him. I remember because when he got hit, I was the first one by his vehicle. I pulled him out of the truck, looking at the shrapnel sticking out of his forehead, the shrapnel in his leg, all over his body. Um, I like blame myself because the night prior, so we had the open back, so I had the soft top open back,
Mm-hmm.
and we all became welders.
Yes.
Yes.
uh, Stacking the base with sand with sandbags and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got some of the up armored vehicles that we had to share 50-50. Half the section will go in up armor, the other half will go in the open back. It was my section's turn to go in the up armored, but once we got the call, QRF. Well, once we got the call that we're going on the patrol with at the time Major Waller, who was our CEO, right?
Yeah, Captain Weiler at the time. He wasn't even a major
Yeah,
until afterwards. Yeah.
Captain Waller. Then Conde had all these people going the up armor. I'm like, no, dude, it's our turn to be in the up armor. So like we argued, and then it's like, nah, fuck it. All right, get out. Give him the freaking up armor. That was like the argument that we had the night prior on July 30th. Was that?
Yeah, you're right. It'd be June 30th.
June 30th.
Yeah, leading to July 1st.
And then we were supposed to go back, but then the call was made to do one more round. Then get hit by the archers.
Mm-hmm.
Then I drive over there, pull him out. What was that AO that was near the archers?
You talking about combat outpost?
Yeah, combat outpost. Then we drove into combat outpost. Watch him take his last breath. But he wasn't pronounced dead until while he was in the air, I think. But I did watch him take his last breath. I do recall vividly. Stay with me. You're gonna be okay. And yeah, man, it took me a long time to forgive myself. All I could replay was that argument. It took me a very, very long time. But then I recall Major once they confirmed that he passed, my eyes just turned red. I was just crying, screaming. Like I think you saw all of map 3.
I was over there with you. Yeah, absolutely.
When we lost them,
mm-hmm.
It was like our world ended. Like I felt like a failure because I promised myself that I would bring everybody back, and I didn't. Like I took it hard, but it was a blessing because Colonel Kennedy at the time
mm-hmm.
stood us down. He didn't allow us to leave the firm base for like what, 3-4 days.
That sounds correct.
I think that was the best decision that was ever made because there would have been an international incident.
Yes. Yeah, that's an understatement. Absolutely.
It's the entire platoon, we just wanted blood. And I'm like not happy to say that I also lost my bearing too, because I wanted blood. But luckily stood us down, then we were not even able to stand watch. Because during that time, the front gate got attacked, and we were not allowed to go and help out, reinforce the front gate.
Yeah.
Then he eased us back in. We started standing guard and everything, and found our way back. It was crazy.
It's a hard one. It's obviously my story isn't exactly the same, but I have some very specific times when people got hurt, people got killed, when it was everything inside of you to maintain that professionalism, and I'm very glad that we never crossed the line.
Yeah.
It's but it's easy to understand how it happens though, because
100%. 100%.
You love those, even if you didn't like the guy. And there's a couple guys that got hurt and whatnot that we weren't necessarily friends. But that was still your brother. And so,
yes.
You still, you wanted to have some control, and you wanted to have, you wanted to have an outward expression of how frustrated and mad we were. So I can get it. I'm glad that, Colonel Kennedy had the foresight to keep the dogs of war on a short leash at that moment.
Oh yeah, like I reminisce about this a lot. I'm like he saw in our eyes, because once we came back, he was the first one there. Him and Sergeant Major Booker.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first one there. Even Sergeant Major Mack, he knew, he saw me and Conde. We were competitors. Like we wanted what was best, but we wanted the same thing, but the way we were to get there wasn't the same.
Yep.
But ultimately we wanted the same thing.
Yep.
That's why I guess our characters were clashing, but I still saw him as my brother.
100%.
Like every single person in the company I saw as my brother. Like, remember when we first got there, we were getting molded, then we'll all be rushing, putting our flak jackets on and everything. Then after like 4 or 5 weeks of that, like, man, fuck it. If it's our time, it's our time.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Or you like wake up in the morning. I remember one time I woke up in the morning, I was yawning, and outside the door, then a flash of orange goes by me. Then I looked at Blue Diamond getting hit. I was like, oh shit, that was a rocket. Shot from the front gate, shot it through the front gate, somehow went down the street, missed everything, and then but and then that experience, like you cannot reproduce it. You cannot, like, if someone wasn't there to, like, having gone through it, they're not gonna understand.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. It's like somebody is getting ambushed. It didn't freaking matter. We go out there. Like, what was it? April? Was it in April when the army got pinned down and we went? We didn't even know them. Like, there was a soldier that was pinned down. I went over there. I said, cover fire. And I went over there and got his weapon. Somebody else was dragging the soldier out. And the first ID, First Infantry Division in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I think that day that all of Ramadi went upside down, like we all got closer together.
1,000%. Yeah, it's funny. I was going to ask you because you went straight to July. So I was going to wait for a few minutes and then ask you what you thought about April. But yeah, April 6th was the day that everybody was like, okay, not only are we all engaged, but now we're all brothers. There's no other way. Like, I would, if I saw an Echo Company guy, I was trying to give him water and like keep him in my truck if I could, just to, everybody needed to be taken care of. And if there's anything I could do to make you get home, that was what I wanted to do. Didn't matter what it was.
Yep. As long as we were wearing the same flag.
Yep.
Same everything.
Yep.
But the one thing also, like, the humanity was still there. We were still going out there, having tea with the elders, giving candy to children and everything. Like like being able to be in a firefight one moment, and then the next person at Candy, like this shit never freaking happened.
Yeah.
You would think that we're bipolar or something.
Did you guys do a lot of that during the invasion? Did you do any sort of the public relations type stuff?
To be honest with you, no, we were hated.
Yeah. And so did you find it hard to do on this deployment that you had to go out and kind of shake hands, kiss babies, hand out candy, that kind of stuff? Soccer balls?
No, I feel like my compassion for men was different. Mm-hmm. I had more respect for life after seeing death.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
I came to respect life more after seeing death and seeing enemy combatant, whatever the case is. I became more appreciative of life.
I can appreciate that.
For sure. Yeah. Living on I mean, again, this isn't about me in any way, but I feel like combat brings you to a point where you're sort of at the edge of life, right? You can see death. You can imagine your own death. You're definitely seeing other people's death, enemy or otherwise. Could be your own, again, in your own platoon. Yeah. And it does give you that edge view of like, oh, there's something about certain parts of this that are sacred, and maybe I can not always be. Maybe I don't always have to be fighting, right? It was nice to see like some little kid who didn't even care anything about what you did 20 minutes ago and just wanted to talk to you, and they're interested in you because you were weird and you had a flashlight or you had a piece of candy or whatever. Yeah, those were good moments.
Yep.
Sometimes those things were hard. Did you ever feel like you had to keep guys from being mean to the locals or anything?
No. I think we all were on the same wavelength. We didn't even have to speak it.
Yeah, that's good.
The thing that really brought joy to our faces while we were on the patrol was seeing the kids smiling. Yeah. Mister, candy. Yeah. And then they're like, we give them candy, and you see the joy on their faces, and like give them a handful of candy out of a bag, and they go and share, and they're all happy, jumping up and down. That really brought joy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I always felt like your platoon was kind of a group of brawlers anyway, right? People who could fight at any time if they needed to.
Yes.
But the majority of your platoon was very young. I mean, very young. I mean, they were kids themselves, half of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned one guy, Brown. Like, I think in that deployment, Brown was 19 because he went in at 17, right? Mm-hmm. So like, and he was a senior at 19. Mm-hmm. And all the other guys who were SOI drops were 17 or 18. It was yeah, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. Yeah. Well, you kind of mentioned April. What do you remember from April 6th? Because you guys were the first ones out the gate.
We were in the shit, man. We were in the shit.
Yeah, that's a good summary.
We calling pretty much all the arsenals that the U.S. military had, short of dropping a 500-pounder. We had the helos. All of the training came in place. Seeing every single street corner, you see somebody with an RPG trying to aim, and we were just freaking fighting. I remember Company Gunny coming back, making multiple runs, dropping us ammo to recover our fallens. Like, the army was there, like never seen Army and Marines work so well together, kicking down doors, the communication aspect of it. It was it was crazy.
Now that's interesting. I because a lot of people have told a lot of stories. I didn't realize you were clearing houses side by side with some of the soldiers. Did you actually do some house clearing with them?
We did.
Nice. And how did you find that? Because we did actually interview an Army soldier, though she was one of the Lioness team. She thought it was weird that like Army and Marines don't use the same words for the same things. Did you find any issues with that?
That was the last thing. That was the last thing on my mind, man.
Right.
Like we had one objective, and to recover our wounded,
Yeah, good.
our KIAs, and stay alive. That was the only thing that mattered. We were all under the same flag, same umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so on April 6th, to my memory, again, you guys were the first out the gate, but Rainmaker wasn't far behind you, and then we were third out. And you went to go support Golf Company because their platoon was surrounded, had KIA already. Their QRF was unable to get to their platoon because they were pinned down not far away, like 2-3 blocks away, but they were stuck. They just could not advance any further. Do you sort of remember what it was like rolling up on scene?
As we are holding onto them, I recalled Gunny Carter was the lead. I think I was third or fourth vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a guy with a red checkered shirt with an RPG aiming, and I told my driver, "Stop the car! Stop the truck! Stop the truck!" Slams on his brake. I told my gunner, "Point your gun towards that wall and shoot it." Shoot into the wall, and I went around, retrieved the RPG that the guy was going to freaking shoot us with. Then after that, I recommended to Gunny Carter, "Gunny, I think we should be dismounted. We need to be on foot."
Yeah.
We fanned out. We had people. We sent dismounted on the next street over, left and right, and the gun trucks, cigar shape, on the gunners scanning and everything. Once in a while, we were shooting at windows. Those guys just popping up out of nowhere, like cockroaches, just trying to get us. But we were going. We're going at it. Yeah, it was chaotic.
Now, I had my own thing going because we went to the north of the city to reinforce Echo Company, who was pinned down. Same story. They were cut off completely. The sniper team and Echo's QRF were both cut off. I know you guys were back and forth between dropping off casualties and going back out to the same area to the fight. It was the first day on the 6th. It was what, 6-7 hours you were out there? Like engaged 6 or 7 hours?
Yeah.
Just curious from your estimate, and this is something that's generally interesting to me. About how many enemy do you think you probably saw on the total of the 6th? Wounded or KIA, or even just that ran by you? Just a rough estimate, guess.
So I feel like the entire city was against us.
Yeah, for sure.
But like armed individuals, I'd say 200, 250. Not even exaggerating.
No, I believe it, actually. And so the only reason why I ask is I don't know where anybody got the numbers that they got, because the official estimates ended up being something like, it was like 250 total across the city. And the numbers I'm getting from each individual platoon is like minimum 4 times that, and probably much higher, right? Yeah. That just doesn't make any sense.
Because I feel like the entire city was against us.
Oh, it was, yeah. Rolling boil and gunfights the whole way. You left the gate. once you were outside of the sight of the bridge posts, because the bridge posts never saw anybody with a weapon. And that was the other interesting thing, is the bridge posts were looking for a gunfight, and the insurgents were smart enough to stay away from any of the camps with an exposed weapon. I'm sure they had stuff in cars, but they didn't have anything out, so they didn't have anything to shoot at. But as soon as you were 2-3 blocks away from the front gates of either Snake Pit or Hurricane Point, you were shot at the whole time. There was it never stopped. And now I know you had been in combat before, but probably most of your guys had not done significant engagements until April 6th.
Yeah.
Do you kind of remember what it felt like after you dropped off the wounded and got back to Hurricane Point and started getting everything back together for the night? Do you kind of remember your platoon's feeling and sentiment and what happened?
They were exhausted, and me being me, I was like, we ain't doing shit. I want the guns clean. So I separated. I want gunners, get the guns clean, replenish ammo on all the gun trucks. Like I was just down. I was just down to business again.
Right.
Because I was taking on the bigger picture. I didn't have time to feel any sympathy for anyone. My mind was just the next mission. What's next? Let's load up the guns. Let's clean out cruisers, clean out personal weapons. Let's get some chow. Let's eat. All right. Let's find out who's going to be on watch, who's going to get some rest, and everything. Like that was my mindset, and I felt like they saw it, and everybody, including Conde, Williams, they all followed suit. They were on board. It is as if like the prophecy, whatever it is I was trying to prophesize, can
you're like, see, I told you so. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have to tell him. I told them so.
No, I know.
It was as if they were ready, because everything that I was doing was to get everybody ready for that moment.
Yeah. Right. Now, I'm curious. Do you remember sleeping on the 6th?
Yeah, because I was during the initial invasion in 04, artillery was going, gunfire. I was asleep. I'm like, I'm gonna again. Yeah, I remember sleeping.
So the only reason why I ask is because I don't sleep. I still don't sleep. I sleep very little. Never have. It's since I was like 12, 13 years old. But I met you after everything, same thing. I was trying to get everybody to do everything and clean up the trucks and re-outfit, because I knew this wasn't done. I knew for sure we were going to get in another gunfight. I didn't know if it was going to be the next day or the next 2 days, but clearly the enemy wasn't done. Me and you met in the battalion CP at about 3 a.m, and we were going over the map with one of the majors. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Major Wiley. Not 100% certain. And that's the only reason why I asked, because I was wondering if you remember sleeping, because it was the middle of the night, literally the middle of the night. It was like 2-3 a.m. And that was that's like one of my most vivid memories of you, is me and you going over the map, and you're being like, yeah, we got shot here and here. And I'm like, yeah, we got shot here, here, and here. And like going over everything and taking notes and like, all right, well, we'll see you tomorrow. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, maybe I did, maybe I did not, but
yeah,
I think I slept.
And you probably did right after that. It was probably, it was whatever. So the next day, the 7th, was no different, right? There's tons of gunfights, but it didn't start until like 9 or 10 a.m. So you still probably slept, right? Even if you slept from 4 till 10, that's 6 hours of sleep. That's great. But the next day, you were the first out the gate again. Do you remember anything on the 7th?
Nah. It was just a blur.
Yeah.
It seems like the days just went into each other.
Right. So I was just curious if you felt any different, especially with your guys, since you were in charge of the gunners. Everybody had popped their cherry on the 6th, and so they kind of knew the drill by the 7th.
Yeah.
That was what I noticed between my guys from the 6th and the 7th. They were doing good on the 6th, but they were shooting a lot of bullets. On the 7th, the lethality went up 100%. They were hitting a lot less ammo, but a lot better shots. They were a lot more calm and a lot more organized.
Well, keep in mind, like all the training and everything, reality kicked in.
Right. Very much so.
Like it's one thing to sit there and tell them what's going to happen, then the other for them to actually experience it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then once they experience it, they're like, all right, like you said, cherries popped.
Yeah.
We know exactly what to expect.
Yep.
We have split seconds to identify final foe. We can make that decision.
Yep.
We could, and the difference in on the 7th was they started using children.
So I remember that too. I did not see that on the 6th, but I definitely saw armed women and children on the 7th. Both.
Yes, they were using children, and they knew that, and nothing to the children. Come to find out that the family were held hostage, and if you don't go out there and shoot them, then your entire family dies.
Yep. Right. Yep.
That's exactly what they did, because they knew that, they watch us and we watch them, but they knew exactly that we would never pull the trigger at a kid.
Yep.
We would never pull the trigger at a woman. And they use that vulnerability against us. But then again, the tough choice that we had to do was, if they were armed, they're an enemy. Yep. If they were armed, not just if they were armed, if they were armed, but then pointing at us, then they're an enemy.
Very much so, yeah.
Because I've seen 7, 8-year-old kids with a gun in their hand. I looked at them, but I didn't do anything. I didn't pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment I would see a weapon go up, then it was a different story.
Yep.
So those were like decisions that we would make on the fly. Right? Again, the appreciation for human life. That's the one thing. If there's anything that I want to stick out in that interview, in this podcast, is the appreciation for human life. Like, I've come and made my peace with God and understand that whatever my purpose is here, at least I've come to appreciate life. And I think and again, and later on, we come to find out, like, not everybody were our enemies.
Oh yeah, very much so.
There were a lot of nice folks in the town. Some that fed us. We sat down. We moved helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ate bread. Ate meat. I love the meat, or like the chicken cooked underground.
Yeah.
Like I got to try the culture. Not everybody hated us, but that's the thing that I mostly get out of it, is the appreciation for life.
So with some of the cultural aspect, did you get to participate in any of the meetings at like the government center? That's kind of what you're talking about? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Not just that, like sometimes when we were on patrol, some families would invite us. We'd like sit there in the courtyard eating, drinking chai.
Did you end up picking up Arabic while you're over there?
No, the only Arabic that I remember is emchi. Like, go away.
Go away.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Go away. The basic salam alaikum salam.
Wahid. Ta'hina.
Yeah. It was just the basic, but yeah.
Well, shifting off the combat a little bit, what did you do in your downtime? I mean, I know you exercised, but outside of that, what else did you do to keep yourself sane? Or
during that deployment, right before I left, I had met this wonderful woman who's now my wife.
Nice.
We were writing letters back and forth. And I think that's what like helped calm me, looking forward to the next letter I'd receive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. And then we used to hold what's that game called? What's that game called? Good grief.
Describe it.
Halo. We used to play Halo.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
We had the Halo tournaments.
Uh-huh.
Halo tournaments. Yeah, those were the fun game. Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer, right? Playing Command and Conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like all, that was like the big thing, playing Halo, working out. Matter of fact, a few times I did some gas mask runs until First Sergeant Mac was like, Sergeant Lochard, leave those men alone. Not to make fun of his laugh, but I remember
yeah.
that's how he laughed. It's such a great man.
Yeah, very much so.
Such a great man.
Yeah, you guys always had like big group activities too. Some of you guys played basketball. We played dodgeball by your hooch a bunch. You guys had golf clubs. You guys had all kinds of stuff, man.
Well, we were trying to hit Blue Diamond.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. And so you said you were writing your soon-to-be wife. Did you guys get married right after the deployment?
No, we got married in 2008.
Oh, nice.
So
not too long after then.
Yeah. So came back from that deployment in 2004, went to a drill field, January, did 3.5 years on a depot, then went to 1-1, did 2 deployments with them, then went to Bethesda, Maryland, spent a year there, and then got out. Because I remember when my son was born, actually before that, at Bethesda, the NIH is right across from Bethesda.
Yeah.
They were working on the latest and greatest modular prosthetic limbs, connecting nerve endings to circuitry to veterans who lost a limb or arm to be able to manipulate limbs and everything. And I asked one of the guys, hey, what do I need to do to be able to do that? It's like, oh, you go to school, become an electrical engineer. I'm like, okay. Then right then, I made my decision. I'll go back to school, be an electrical engineer. My wife gave birth, went back to the hospital, holding my son, and I tell her, hey, babe, I think I'm going to get out. She's like, oh, okay. And she asks, what are you going to do? I said, oh, I'm going to go to school. She's like, for what? Electrical engineering. She said, okay. I'm like, okay. And then I got out, went back to Camp Pendleton because, not Camp Pendleton, went back to California because she was homesick. She's a California lady. So went back to California, and the rest is history. Went to community college, went to San Diego State.
Nice.
Then the rest is history. Like a lot of the guys, matter of fact, a lot of the guys are successful. You have Latham. He's like a doctorate. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like it's
what I'm curious because you're also very successful, and a huge chunk of the guys from Weapons Company are. What is your take on that? Why do you think so many of these guys? A lot of guys did real well. We produced quite a few sergeant majors. We have quite a few people who are professionally successful. people who are high-ranking cops, high-ranking firefighters, a lot of stuff like that. A couple of them have ran for office and successfully been voted into office.
Was that experience? We operate on wavelengths.
Mm-hmm.
We at that time shared the same wavelength for success. The success for us was to bring everybody back home alive. It's like, I don't know, it's something about that deployment that it unlocks something in us. And guys were just hungry. They're seeing something that don't want to go back to it. And that was a way maybe for us to block out the noise, block out the signal that we experienced during that deployment.
You're the first person to say that, but that's actually a really smart way to put it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, because we shared this experience that we shared. It's like it's all interconnected. We are all interconnected with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
mind you, that interconnection, like you put all that energy together and we get redistributed to like do something great with ourselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm not articulating it well, but
no, you are.
Well, no. Actually, I'm
quite the opposite.
Much, yeah, no. You're saying it in a way that I've never heard before, but I definitely don't disagree with. I find it. I like what you're saying.
Yeah, because remember, we all operate on frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you go out, you could sense that there's a bad vibe. Or somebody is not genuine. You sense that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
There's a disturbance in the frequency, you tend to stay away. And I think we've unlocked that somehow. Subconsciously, we've unlocked that. And
I'm gonna be chewing on that for a while, my friend. That's a good one.
Yeah, but with that frequency, you only associate yourself, you only find people that shares that same wavelength, that same frequency as you. If they're not on the same level as you don't associate yourself with them. You only want to associate yourself with people that are going to make you better, and you want in turn make people around you better. People migrate to you because they want to be better. They want to be good. And if someone like you'll give your time to people, but you can only lead the horse to the water. You're not going to freaking sit there, shove the pipe in the horse's mouth,
right? No,
pump water in their mouth. Like if they don't want it, at least you did your part. You move on to the next thing. We just don't have time to waste.
Sure.
Because we understand how valuable every day is. It doesn't matter. Like I could get in my car, get into a wreck, and then I'm done. Then that's it. I'm go meet my maker. But it's all about frequency. That's to me. That experience, April 6th, April 7th, something shifted for us. And that shift, it still has it's to a benefit, I guess. Like it it brought something. Like it cannot be explained. But it brought something, just like me, for example, I mentioned to you that I lost my faith in God. But one day I just sat there and just started talking to him again. And he responded to me. And I've come to understand that I spent quite a bit of time trying to run away from him, but he was always there. All I had to do was turn around and reach, and he grabbed my hand. But again, that's that frequency. I think maybe we share that same frequency. He's been there all along. But
I appreciate you sharing that perspective, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets spiritual. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. Plenty of people have gotten deep. Not a lot of people have gotten spiritual, but you are about the third person who has said it in a different way, where they said, I stopped talking to God on this deployment and I picked it back up later. And I find that an interesting thing where, you know, you hear that old phrase that, I don't know, it's been around since probably World War I, where it's, you know, there's no atheists in foxholes. And I don't know, I tend to disagree. I saw a lot of people who were like, I don't know what, you know, I don't know, they'd say crazy stuff like, I don't know what God would let this happen and stuff like that. And then you find out, you know, you think later and you're like, well, I don't know, man. And just like you said, there are plenty of coincidences, occurrences, feelings, vibes, just like what you said, that are unique enough to where you definitely felt something, religious or otherwise. And it's good that you found your tune for it, man. That's I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I don't even know where to go from here. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Because I could ask you some other questions, but it almost seems not genuine once you go the spiritual route.
Yeah. No, I got nothing else, man. I do appreciate you reaching out. Thanks for speaking to John Mark, because
yeah,
he is right. I do screen my calls.
Well, so I'll tell you here's the part two. This is my second Deverson Lochard memory. And I said, I don't know if he'll want to talk to me, because the last time we spoke at great length, we were shouting in each other's faces about where to park the Humvees. I don't know if you remember that at all. But it was the middle of the summer. It was about 130 outside, and our vehicles were parked on the street because we were next up. Your guys' vehicles were parked next to the hooch, but you wanted the driveway open. And rather than just asking us to move the vehicle, you came over and screamed at me. So I screamed at you, and we screamed at each other for like about 15 minutes before multiple people got in between us. And I was like, I don't know if he remembers that, but if he remembers that, he may not ever want to talk to me again.
I don't remember.
We were both sergeants. We both had strong personalities. And so those kind of things happen all the time in the Marine Corps. But I remembered it, and I remember laughing about it later because it didn't mean anything to either one of us. We were both just trying to do what was right for the platoon. But that's what I told John Mark, is that I was like, he may not want to talk to me. I think I called him a lot of names, and he called me a lot of names. So
just remember, man, at that time, we just wanted to chill.
Yep.
That's all it is. We came back from a patrol, whatever the case is, and we just wanted to get out of the sun. And
yep.
Emotions are high. We're very irritable, dehydrated, then probably freaking go to the gym or release stress, whatever the case is. Sorry, man. I apologize.
It's 22 years later, and I don't hold it against you in any way. To me, now this is just me, but I always felt like, because we literally lived next to each other, but also we trained together so much before and after that deployment, I always felt like MAP 2 and MAP 3 were ultra close. We were very intermingled. We were always in each other's hooches. We were always talking to each other, always playing games with each other. And you were talking about wavelengths and vibes. I don't feel any different now. I feel like I haven't seen you in 22 years. And you know what? If I saw you tomorrow, I would sit down and I would talk to you for more hours about anything.
Yep.
I weirdly miss you, and I'm glad to see you, and I'm really glad you came to share.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
I do appreciate you both, gentlemen.
Yep.
Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe for future episodes on your favorite podcast service.